And the American Forces Network, we welcome in the nearly 1 million men and women of the U.S. Army.
Red corner, wearing red trunks with gold trim, hailing from Coachella, California, by way of Jiquilpan, Michoacan, Mexico. He weighed in at 146. Gentlemen, please welcome the two-time lightweight champion of the world, introducing Julio, the Kid Diaz. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks with blue trim, fighting a decision with 20 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the hard-hitting and undefeated WBA interim welterweight world champion, introducing Keith one-time Thurman. To get a referee in charge, Jack Reese.
Everybody else out of here. Come here. All right, help instructions. I just want to remind you, listen and obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Fight hard, but fight clean. Good luck to both of you.
On AFN, the American Forces Network, we welcome in the nearly 1 million men and women of the U.S. Force, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines around the globe in 175 countries. And on the ready, the main event begins. Welterweight action between Keith was scheduled for 12 or less, and Thurman started his career with 9 consecutive. Diaz has to be very cognizant of.
Diaz good, so he should know how to get through this, navigate this early part of the exchange left hooks. They both have good left hooks, though certainly Thurman's more
within
powerful.
5 rounds. Again, a veteran of now 51 fights. So big. But Keith Thurman, Daniel, everyone is buzzing about this rising knockout.
He acknowledges that. He definitely understands the position that he's in. He understands what he has, and he's doing a great job. So he has to get a very good victory with Diaz in there tonight in order to do that.
Thurman and Diaz both face a very tough act after what we witnessed as Thurman unloaded John Molina and Lucas Matisse, engaging in one of the most savage scraps you will see.
So the hand speed, if he flashed it with those combinations, he has become such a fights.
Coming off a 9th round TKO win over veteran Jesus Soto Caras. Oh, solid left hand by Thurman. The right hand clips Diaz. And Thurman swarming Diaz. Final minute of the first.
Diaz. The Thurman left hook, we mentioned it. Diaz.
When Thurman was just 16, he was in the gym with the likes of left hook Jeff Lacey. A steep learning curve.
And he sparred with them when he was a very young man. So there you see some of the defensive skills. Diaz throwing a good combination and Thurman slipping those punches.
Thurman, I've noticed how he's been able to defensively get better. He's always been known as a power puncher. Gradually, he's been getting better with defensive slipping and angles, so I'm excited to see that.
Good exchange to end the round. What do you think Thurman and Diaz have to do to win this fight?
As we look at the keys, Diaz, his work rate has to remain reasonably good in this fight because he has lost.
Crowd here at the StubHub Center getting their money's worth with the action they've already witnessed in round 34. I don't know if he can still call himself the Kid as he unloads the right hand.
34 seems pretty young to me, actually. And we talked about, could he get through that kind of thing, and he is a veteran, and he did it really well, even though he lost the round.
Spent 10 years as a lightweight. Diaz moving up to 140 in 2009. He moved up to welterweight in July of 25 fights at welterweight, but again, oh, and eats a nasty combination from Thurman.
But counter punches in that combination.
Deadly combination it was. You're right, Al.
Solid jab by Thurman, stepping back, missing round 2.
One of the things that the counter-punching already of Thurman has done is it's kind of frozen it to overcommit or initiate too much for fear of getting countered.
especially since Keith Thurman is always in position to punch. You got to be wary of a guy like that, especially with so much power.
Oh, the left uppercut jacking Diaz. Left hook and Diaz bobbing and weaving. But what a lethal uppercut by Thurman. That's Diaz. And now Diaz on the attack.
Thurman, after that, show us his ring generalship.
Yes, for Keith, one-time Thurman, you know that right hand is locked.
And that's what makes him dangerous. You know, how could you train for a guy like this?
Diaz takes a knee.
3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Give me your hands. Give me your hands.
And that will officially go as the 9th time that Diaz has been down in his career as he takes a left hook to the head. A solid round for Keith Thurman.
Stop punching, stop punching. That's right. He's okay. He's okay.
You okay?
He's okay. Hey, bro. With the fucking Diaz too much round.
Keith Thurman able to, well, Diaz gets a delayed reaction from a punch activity. Kind of a counter left hand. Well, that's where it was. It was a left hand that affected the.
As we begin round number 3, Diaz, trained by his brother Joel, who fought for the light. We saw in our opener retain his lightweight championship via split decision over Jerry Belmontes.
That may have been what happened there with Julio Diaz. He certainly needs more punishment there.
There's an overhand right by Diaz that landed.
Julio Diaz getting an earful from his brother Joel. And there is Sean Porter. He's gone after knockouts. He's not a huge knockout puncher. He should be putting his punches together rather than looking for
the game plan. If things aren't going well, make it a fight. But against a guy like Keith Thurman, be careful what you wish for, Daniel.
At least a better beginning of this round.
But one thing that I see Diaz that he could take advantage of is when he loads it up, as he did just there. And if he can kind of come with the counter.
Of course, the welterweight division, the class of bridges.
It's a stacked card. I'm looking forward to it.
And a great division for sure. Show us who belongs at the top of it.
Final minute of the 3rd.
He has the hands down. He's moving. He's smiling.
Oh, right hook. A right hand by Thurman. But look at Diaz come back into a firefight and give the fans a show.
As Diaz just get caught, and he got cut over the left side, over the right eye.
A left hook.
And he got stunned early by Jesus Soto Canas in his last fight, but came back to stop him.
And by
show up. Julio Diaz is game.
I don't know what it is about the air at the stump humps. The best of these warriors, Keith Thurman. And speaking of a stacked welterweight division, a man who was
land first to the body and then that overhand right that pushed Julio Diaz, got some work done.
I think they're saying a rib
referee
injury.
Jack Reese has just come over to us, and Julio Diaz has stopped the fight due to a rib injury. 3-0 with 1 no decision. And moving one step
from Keith as we head to action for the last round. Excellent left hooks landing, combination punching, another win. And we look at the punch numbers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been one time.